Hey guys, what's going on? Tennessee.Frank coming at you. Got a little bit different format today. I pulled in this little app here. It's called Webcamoid. It's version 8.5.0. Apparently there's a newer version that's out there too. But hey, this is working. And I just wanted to kind of do a general talk about about the state of Linux and where I am with it. As most of you know who follow my videos, I started off more as a guns and gear channel, but unemployment kind of puts a damper on being able to buy guns and gear. So I've not been doing a whole lot of guns and gear. What I have been doing is a lot of videos on Linux distros. Linux, as most of you should know, is free to download, free to use. It's an awesome open source solution for running your hardware if you have a laptop or desktop or even some of the little netbooks. There's distros available that'll work great on netbooks. So if you have a little netbook with Windows 7 or something, which is coming up end of life January 18th, I believe, it'll be end of life. So if you got a little netbook or something and you need an operating system and it's not going to run Windows 10, look up some Linux distros. There's a bunch of them out there. You can go on Distro Watch. It's a real good place to start. Go to the search function and put in the parameters. Put in what you're looking for. You know, i386 for your little netbooks. Put in that you want netbook. Put in the desktop. Something like XFCE or LXDE, something lightweight, and have it pull up what's available. If you want to go with something that's cutting edge, go with Arch-based distros or maybe Debian testing. Some of the newer testing distros will give you newer packages. I personally prefer some of the older packages. I've tried some Arch-based and Debian testing-based. And the Kdenlive version that I get is 6.16, and I honestly don't care for it. There are features that it's missing that I have in the older 6.12. And I'm used to 6.12, so I run pretty much just Debian stable. That's what we have here. If we'll look around, we can go ahead. I can configure my desktop here. And you can see I've installed some other wallpapers here. But yeah, basically what I'm running right now is Debian 10. I believe with the upgrades it's 10.1. I know on the other system, I don't know if you can see it back there, this other system back here, I just put 10.1 back on it. I did have Elementary OS on there. I don't like not being able to work on the desktop. There was nothing I could do on the desktop, and it was really frustrating. There was a lot of things that just didn't work. So yeah, I put Debian 10.1 on it, and I believe with all the updates and upgrades we should be at 10.1 on this one as well. But I mean, you can see I have this set up so that it is dashboard. And I can find all my apps here very simply by scrolling through. Don't have to pull any menus out or drop any menus down. Or, I like this dashboard setup. I have my favorites that I use a lot over here. And I did install Synoptic Package Manager, which I like to run Synoptic. I did remove Plasma Discover because I don't think Discover is ready for prime time. It's very buggy and it gives me a lot of issues, especially when I want to do updates. It'll lock me out of the updates because it's busy looking for updates, and you can only look one at a time for your updates. But yeah, for me, Debian is pretty much my sweet spot. It seems to give me the stability that I need to run as a daily operating system. It still gives me all the packages that I'm used to running. It gives me my Caden Live. It gives me a simple screen recorder that I'm using here to record this. It gives me Audacity that I can use for audio. I get VLC, I get my Firefox. Everything that I'm used to running I can get through Debian, and it's good, stable packages. They're tried and true and tested when you go Debian stable. Like I've said before, if it's good enough for the International Space Station, these dudes orbiting way above the Earth there, and they need something that's not going to be buggy, something that's going to work, because if their computer systems go down, they're in a lot of world of hurt up there. They got to have something stable, so they're running Debian. It works. You do have a little bit of a hoop to jump through in Debian 10, getting VirtualBox going. You can do it. There are sites online that show how to install the repositories for VirtualBox. Main reason from what I read, Debian 10 is not including it in its repositories anymore. Debian wants to try and be free and open source, and because VirtualBox is proprietary, they're not putting it in the repositories anymore. It was in the repositories in 9, but they've come to the conclusion they just don't want to put it in the repositories. So it's not going to be there anymore. But there are ways of getting it. You can go ahead and look it up, do a start page search or Google search, whatever search engine, on installing VirtualBox 6.0 onto Debian 10, and it'll point you to the right links. But yeah, I was able to get VirtualBox, got it right here, and right now I got Debian XFCE and Sparky Multimedia in here that I'm kind of looking at. Probably do a review on the Sparky Multimedia here eventually. But I like VirtualBox. I wish I would have knew about VirtualBox a long time ago when I first got into Linux, because I ended up doing a lot of installs and did a lot of distro hopping that I really didn't need to do. I could have just came in here to VirtualBox and checked things out instead of installing or even putting it on a USB stick and having to boot to it. It's just so much simpler to just go ahead, put it in VirtualBox, fire it up, and there you go. So, it's such a handy operating system. I absolutely love Linux. I don't see myself going back to Windows ever. Can't stand it. It's just too buggy. If you watch the reports about the last updates, it's broken systems, it's deleted packages. I honestly don't think Microsoft's really serious about their operating system anymore. And I know a lot of computers come with it pre-installed. I wish they didn't. I wish they'd give you the option of buying the hardware, and then if you wanted to run Windows, spend the $100 on Windows. If you wanted to run something else, like a Linux-based distro, then you can download it and install it. I mean, they need to give you options. There are a few companies that will give you options. Dell, I believe, and I think either Lenovo or HP was doing Linux for a while. Of course, there are different companies like System 76 and Purism that come out with actual computers designed to run Linux, and they come with, for the most part, I believe Pop! OS, which is based on Ubuntu with the GNOME desktop, which I find GNOME to be a little heavy for my needs. I like KDE. I like the way I can configure it. Let me see if we can get HTOP here. And I mean, you can see I'm recording video and doing all this, and I'm at 1.15 gig. So, I mean, that's not too bad. Normally this thing will come in at around 550 meg to run the desktop, which is on par now with like your Mate's, and not that much heavier than your XFCEs. XFCE, I don't know what they've done to it, but it's even coming on in now at 400. So with KDE, I get all this versatility. I get to set things up the way I want. I have my calendar right here. You know, you can check on things easy. And like I said, I can configure menus differently. They give me 3 different menus here. We can do like an application launcher, which you can see looks like a more traditional with a search function. I also have that was the menu. Here's the launcher. Of course, your launcher here, you can go applications, you know, and like system, it pulls up. I honestly don't care for that. And then my favorite right there is dashboard. And we can go ahead and lock this back in, lock my widgets. But yeah, I like this dashboard right here. You know, you can check out like games are right there, education. Here's my multimedia stuff. Like I said, you can go all and see everything. That's my preferred one, is dashboard. I love the way it works, and I love the way it looks. Something else that's really cool, you can go into system settings. So let's say like right now, I'm running modern for my workspace theme. Let's say I wanted to change that, but I didn't want these two. I just go down here to this button, Get New. Click it, it goes out onto the interwebs, and it pulls in. You can do like most downloaded. I can check it by newest. I mean, here's one called Phoenix, you know. I can go by rating. What's the top rating? You know, Sweet KDE looks like it's rated pretty well. I mean, it's just so simple. Let's say I wanted to do get some different icons. Like right now, I'm running these BUUF Plasma. I think they look really cool. Let's say I didn't want any of these icon sets. Get new theme. It goes out, it pulls in new themes. You know, there's a papyrus theme. You can go with some of the newer themes that are out there. Go by rating, you know, what's the most popular. It's so simple. It is just so simple to find what you're looking for. It makes it really difficult for me to go with any other desktop, because it's just so easy to get what I want and set things up the way I want it to be. And that's why I'm really loving KDE now. Didn't used to be the case. KDE 4 was a disaster. Never really used it when it was KDE 3. I tried KDE 4. Way too many different configurations that just didn't make sense. It was hard if you did a configuration to get back to where you originally started. KDE Plasma 5, they've got the bugs worked out. It's working good. It's a great desktop. And like I said, Debian, it's working awesome. I'm loving Debian. It's just so stable. You can go ahead and change my wallpaper. Get new wallpaper. Let's say you want some new wallpaper. Go ahead. Here's some of the most downloaded. You can go by like the top rating. You know, just hit install. It's so simple to do stuff here. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of do like a channel update, state of Linux as far as TN.Frank is concerned, where I'm at with it, what I'm running, what I've found that really works for me. It may not work for you. Your equipment may be different. This seems to be running great for me. Debian 10, Debian 10.1, and KDE, working great. So if you're interested in Linux, go ahead, download it, put it on a USB stick or have VirtualBox installed, give it a look. You find something you like, run it. Don't be afraid to run it. You can always go back to what you had before. If you really want to be safe, pull your hard drive out of your system if it's got Windows. Put it in SSD. Perfect time to upgrade. Throw a good Linux distro on it and go for it. Have fun. Enjoy it. Linux is a lot better than it used to be, even over the last couple years. It's improved a lot, and I think it actually is ready for prime time as far as operating systems go. So, like I always say, either we stand up for our rights or we can sit by and watch them go away. Y'all have an awesome rest of the day. We'll talk to you later. TN.Frank out of here.